Hey, hey, I am live, guys. How you doing? It's Wednesday night at 7. Um, we are traveling, as you can tell by the background. So I won't be doing my interview style thing tonight because we're on the road and we're getting ready for our anniversary celebration. Happy anniversary, baby.
Happy anniversary.
Um, but what I wanted to jump on here and talk about is regrets. And I asked a question the other day and I got some interesting responses. And the question I asked was, if you were told you were going to die in 7 days, how would you live this last week? So I have a better question because that one was pretty limited. Let's say you're 40 years old and the average life expectancy is 78. How many more days do you have left? How many more weekends do you have left? How many more visits with mom and dad do you have left? How much time do you have to do the things that you say you really want to do? And one of my friends said that was a morbid thought. And maybe it is. Maybe it is. But the reality is, here, Jim Morrison said it the best: nobody gets out of here alive. And YOLO is an interesting thing because, yes, we only live once, but we also can live our best once. All right. And we were watching an interview with a guy named Jesse Itzler. And I don't know if some of you may know who Jesse is, but for those of you who don't, he is the owner of the Atlanta Hawks. His wife is invented Spanx. These guys, they are entrepreneurs all the way. They live their life around being entrepreneurs. And Jesse was talking about regrets, and it was a really interesting conversation because he talked regrets were in three buckets. And the first bucket is the regrets that you can't change. Okay. For instance, and this is how he said it. And I loved it. He said, "I broke up my girlfriend in freshman year of high school. I should have never broke up with her." Well, if you're 40 now, too late to worry about that because you're not fixing it. You broke up with her how many years ago? Right? 15, 20 years ago? More. So that's a regret that you're always going to have. But you don't have to live with that. You did it, so it's past, right? And then the second one is the things that other people inflict on you. And you really can't control those either, right? I mean, if someone does something to you, you might regret that you even interacted with them, but you did. Hopefully, I didn't lose my total signal. I'm losing my signal. Um, and then the third one are the things that we can control. And the vast majority of people interviewed on their deathbeds, these are their biggest regrets. Things they could have done that they didn't do because they let life get in the way of doing them. It's kind of a deep thing to say, and people say don't be self centered. But if there's something you want to get done in your life, don't you think that when you get to a certain age, if you've never done that, you might be mad at your wife for not doing it? Think about that. Or your husband for not letting you do it, or talking you out of it, or any of that. I mean, that's pretty deep stuff, don't you think? I think it is. But it's the truth because here's the thing. If I want to go do something and I say to Joan, I want to go do this, and Joan says, you don't want to do that, why not? But I do. And luckily, I have a wife who doesn't do that to me. She doesn't say, you don't want to go do that. She lets me do the things I enjoy doing. And I create me time every day that I spend with myself. And that's kind of weird, but you know what? I have to do it. And he does it too. And when he said it, I was like, I do the same thing. He spends me time. All right. He allocates 3 hours a day. It's funny because the guy said, 2.5. He goes, no, 3. So he makes sure that he has 3 hours of his day, which is what he said was really cool. 10% of his day. No big deal, right? 10% of your day. Think about that. Can you give yourself 10% of your day? Just a thought. And I do. I get up in the morning and I have me time. And when I go out rowing for a while, it's me time. And then Joan comes out and joins me later. So don't let yourself have regrets at the end of your life. If you have a bucket list, figure out a way to start emptying that bucket now. Not 10 years from now, not 20 years from now. If you have an experience you want to experience, find a way to make it happen. Find a vehicle that will help you make those things happen. I'm not saying do what I do. I'm saying there's ways you can learn to make money or do anything so that you can go do what you want to do. Oh, I can't afford that. It's the wrong attitude. How can I make it happen? How can I afford it is the question, not I can't afford that. I can't afford that is a resignation that you're never going to amount to anything, guys, and you can. Right? If you say that, you've let other people beat you down to the point where you don't think you're going to amount to anything anymore. And you do. You just don't know it anymore. And that's when we get those regrets at the end of our life because we don't do what we always wanted to do because, well, I have to go do this. I have to go do that. My job is more important. You're more important. You're more important. And that being said, if you don't love yourself enough, how are you ever going to love someone else enough? Pretty simple, straightforward thought process, isn't it, guys? If you don't love yourself enough, how are you ever going to love someone else enough? And then compound that with the regrets on top of it. How angry will you be at the end of the day if you don't love yourself and you regret being with the person you're with because they wouldn't let you go do what you thought you needed to do? I'm not saying go kill yourself. I'm not saying go jump out of a perfectly good airplane. That's up to you. But what I'm saying is that if there's things in your life that you're regretting not doing, why are you not doing them? And if there's something holding you back, go through it. Right? It's cliche to say the obstacle is the way, but it is. Your challenge is your weak point. That's where you need to go to get your strength. Think about that for a few minutes. Your challenge is where you need to go to get your strength. All right, this isn't going to be that long because we are on vacation. Guys, have a great night. Be blessed. Love yous. And start thinking about what you needed to, what's on that list that you want to check off definitely this year. Later.